She thought he was just a janitor, invisible, unimportant. But one night when the building went up in flames, she realized the man she looked down on was the one who'd save her life. This is a story about pride, courage, and how one act of bravery can change everything. Watch till the end, because sometimes the person we least expect becomes our greatest hero. The rain poured relentlessly over the city that night. Streets shimmered with reflections of passing cars, and thunder echoed in the distance. Inside a towering glass office building, the night shift janitor moved silently through the empty halls. His name was Marcus, a quiet, humble black man who worked harder than anyone ever noticed. To most people in that company, Marcus was invisible. He cleaned their floors, emptied their trash, and nodded politely when they walked by, though few ever bothered to nod back. None more dismissive than Victoria Hale, the company's young, ambitious executive. Victoria had everything: success, wealth, and beauty. But with it came pride and a cold sense of superiority. She never looked twice at Marcus. To her, he was just the janitor, someone whose name she didn't need to know. But fate has a way of humbling even the proud. That night, the power went out across the building. A sudden storm had knocked down lines, leaving floors drenched in darkness. Marcus was finishing his shift when he heard something, a faint scream coming from one of the top floors. Without a second thought, he grabbed his flashlight and ran upstairs. The elevator was dead, so he took the stairs 2 at a time, his heart pounding. When he reached the executive level, smoke was filling the hallway. A small electrical fire had broken out near the corner office, Victoria's office. Through the haze, he saw her silhouette trapped behind a jammed glass door, coughing and calling for help. "Hold on," he shouted, covering his mouth with his sleeve. He tried the door, but it wouldn't budge. Without hesitation, Marcus kicked it open, rushed in, and pulled her out just as flames licked across the carpet. Outside in the corridor, she gasped for air, trembling. For the first time, their eyes met, not as boss and janitor, but as two humans caught in the chaos of survival. You saved me," she whispered, still shaking. Marcus didn't answer. He just nodded, making sure she was safe. But as the fire alarms blared, she noticed the burns on his arm, the price he'd paid to get her out. Hours later, at the hospital, Victoria waited by his bedside. Gone was the arrogance, the pride, the superiority. She watched this man, this quiet janitor, lying there unconscious, and tears welled in her eyes. How many times had she walked past him without a word? How many times had she looked down on him without ever seeing the person beneath the uniform? When Marcus finally woke up, she smiled softly. "You risked your life for me, after the way I treated you." He smiled faintly. "We're all human, ma'am. Doesn't matter what job we do. When someone's in danger, you help." That sentence broke something inside her, the walls she'd built between class and color. Weeks later, Victoria visited him again, not as his boss, but as a friend. She offered him a new position, one that valued his integrity and courage. But more than that, she offered respect, something she'd never given before. Sometimes it takes one moment, one act of bravery to open a person's eyes. And for Victoria, that night wasn't just about being saved from the fire, it was about being saved from her own blindness. She used to look down on him. Now she looks up to him with respect. Because heroes don't wear suits, sometimes they carry mops. Fade out with emotional piano and rain sound.